because I want to keep doing what I've been doing. I want to help people like you and others that are operating these small businesses or want to open up new businesses or need some assistance from whether it's the local government or the state government. I want to be your advocate. I want to build Jefferson Avenue. That's loud and clear. That's been my platform. Not only on Jefferson Avenue, it's been my platform in the old Delaware district, all the way down to Elmwood. I tell them the same thing. And surprisingly, they want the same thing. I want to, I really am not just interested on Jefferson Avenue. I want to get rid of 33. I want to bring our communities together. I want to see the east side starting to flourish. I want to take all this green land of ours, and I don't want to give it to big developers. I want to give it to us that live here, that want to do something with it. We might need a big development here and there to help us a little bit grow, but overall, it's the mom and pop that's keeping this government going. It's not them. If you think it's them, you got the numbers wrong, because every building they put it up, they get a 10-year tax break. You're not getting anything when you remodel your places or trying to put a roof on it. You're not getting nothing towards it. Unless you're a successful businessman and you have credit and the grants you qualify for. But I know a lot of small businesses that don't qualify. Why? Because they cannot get a loan from the banks. Because they never established a credit, they've been self-employed. But even on top of that, they're hardly keeping the business they have, and they don't have the money up front for those grants, whether it's $40,000 that they give for the storefronts or another $25,000 per unit. Those are all available to us. I did a couple of those grants, yeah. I did Masjid Numan, on Fillmore and Utica. I did all their storefronts. I did that other store with the roof and everything. The owner didn't have the resources to come up with the money to be able to get the grant. So I helped, but I also want to help in a different way. I want to bring private investors into the game, or private loaners that could take the money when the state gives you back your resources. But at the same time, we can negotiate with these contractors to take that fee off their cost. So at the end of the day, I will make sure that you get those resources that you deserve, if not you, others in other communities too. I will create a hub to show you how. I will respond more than anybody else will, because my goal is to get my name back. They used to call me Eddie Jefferson in the earlier days when I first started, and I want it back. I want to continue being called Eddie Jefferson, but at large, at the end, I think I'm going to be called Elegant Eddie once I start serving, because I'm going to do my job to bring the East Side back to life. I'm going to demand that. I'm not going to allow them to say no to us, because if they say no to me, I promise you I'm going to come to you. And we're going to get out there together, and we're going to make sure we get what we want.
Okay. Question number 2. What are your qualifications?
Oh, I got lots of them.
For this job?
For this job. Since I'm talking about redeveloping the East Side, with my history of what I've done on Jefferson alone, we can start with Zion Missionary Baptist Church. He didn't have the money to build it. I went in there, helped him build it. Mandela's, we can go down the street. I didn't finish Mandela's, but I built Mandela's. We can go down the street, we can go up a little bit. I did a couple odds and ends jobs throughout here, but I'm talking about some targeted areas. But let's go to Greater Refuge Temple. Those used to be garages. I turned it into a plaza. Then we had that little ice cream and restaurant. I did all that for Bishop Sanders. And I also did Mount Aaron off of Genesee at, I think it's 560 Genesee. I did the church when the roof came down. They didn't have enough insurance money. Reverend Baines and former councilman Dave Collins, came to me, Eddie, we need to help them. We went there. Some other officials were there, I'm not going to name names, promising they're going to do their help. I said, well, here's my phone number. Let me know. I get on a phone call. Next thing, I built up their church in 3 months, and they're praying in that church. I can keep going down Jefferson.
Construction is what you say, you have construction.
Just, that's one form of it. But I have a lot of knowledge, not just at the local level. I have a lot of knowledge and experience in studying in the national and international level. I ran against it. Okay, I didn't win. But I ran against the party and the machine over and over. They kept knocking me out because that's what they do. I had the ability to knock a few people out this time around. I had the proof. But at the end of the day, I told myself, I'm not gonna be like that. So I decided to withdraw my lawsuit. Not only that, I've worked with all the communities. My qualification is I understand and I communicate with all of us, whether it's the Muslim community, whether it's the Christian faith, whether it's the immigrant community, whether it's your community and your children. I have the most knowledge of being able to deal with the solutions, being able to take our kids off the streets, and by creating programs that I did with pay in the trade school. We're neglecting the kids without high schools. We're not allowing them to get into the unions. I think I'm gonna make a big fuss about that because I never knew I needed education to swing a hammer. I never knew I needed education to solder some pipes. It's all about skills. Our parents didn't have the skills or the schooling, but they were the best. So on top of that, I've been watching this city do what it's been doing to us. I've been seeing this city neglect every portion of the east side. Enough is enough. I mean, I can shout and scream and tamp it down, but I am furious about it, and I am gonna let you know, and I'm gonna let everybody else know, that your children do not deserve to live the way they live. That my children do not deserve to see what they see because I raised them on Goodyear. I raised them off of Goodyear and Coombs. I lived on Guilford. I've been on the east side for 33 years. I've been fortunate through that swinging the hammer to get to where I'm at. So qualifications, don't be fooled by somebody that's telling you they know people in Albany or so on. Because if you want to know about who knows people in Albany, I know people in Albany. But guess what? I know people in Washington. I know our chairman in Washington, Schumer, others, Clinton family, all of the above. I associate with these people. I have a broad reach, not only locally. That's why I was so interested in running into the bigger seat so I could do more. But I think I better get down to the ground like I've been doing. If you want some groundwork done, I'm the guy to do it.
Thank you. Our next question, what do you know about this organization, the Greater Jefferson Avenue Business Association?
To be honest with you, not as much as we all should know, because you really haven't been making too much noise. I'm sorry to say that, but you've been just trying to organize by yourself. You're not getting the assistance of the publication of any kind in any way, and we really don't know who all the members are. But I've seen what you've been going through here, especially around here. So I'm gonna say this. Tell me what you need. I promise you that I will do my best to give you what you're looking for. I promise you that I will do my best to build more businesses in Jefferson Avenue. And when I bring somebody here, or when I bring an investor here, I'm gonna get your input whether you want it or not, before I bother to put anybody in here that we're gonna create chaos with. We all need to work as a team. I'm a businessman. I'm not a politician. I'm an advocate. I'm a humanitarian. And I see all the things that we haven't got. So I'm like you. I'm pretty sure if I pick one of you up and say, here, run the council, I know you can do it. If you don't understand it, you'll find out through the city. But I understand it. I know from day one what to do. I know every leader in this district, or throughout, every councilman I know. They don't like me because I run against them, but they say Eddie's a good guy. Well, if you want a good guy into this team, I'm the good guy, because I'll always be a good guy, and I'll always work to make things better.
Thank you. We have two more questions, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Okay.
What do you think it takes to jumpstart the commercial business district here, the sector?
By helping those that are trying to improve our area. He moved twice. Coffee shop over there at the old plaza that I was blessed to put together for him. He's here in the corner. I know he owns a building down the street and still standing, no progress, hoping to get help. That's taking forever. And even if he gets the help, he's still gotta come up with the money to start the project. It's not gonna be that easy. This is where I come in. If you can't get the banks to help you, I will get people to help you. And I assure you, when you're looking for a short-term loan, that the cost of it ain't gonna be anything different from the bank. Because when you go to the banks, by the time they do their paperwork, by the time you pay back early, you're gonna pay more than the average cost of the interest. You're going to pay all the fees. But if we bring private investors to our community to give you that loan, I assure you, you'll be able to fix your building way faster than them. Because once you get approved by the state and the local county, we'll get you the resources and the people, all the contractors that will fund your project and not cap it into extra cost. I will help build these existing businesses. I will help bring not just skyscrapers and that. I want to input. I want to bring this strip back. I want us to walk and shop and bring our children here, drink coffee here, drink tea here, whatever it takes. I want us to, again, I'm going to say this over and over. Everything I've done in my life, I've listened to people. I work with people. Do you want it? I advise them. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to listen to you. I'm going to advise you whether it's the right cause or not. I've opened all kinds of businesses throughout Western New York. Pizzerias, restaurants. Back in the early days, I was even doing nightclubs for others. I've done clinics in Niagara Falls, Tonawonda's area. I've done charter schools. I've done mosques. I've done churches. I've done plazas. I mean, I'm doing a couple of projects right now. I'm building a plaza on Bailey, where everybody complained about that gas station, where cars are parking and partying here, right across the street from the pizzeria. Same thing, man, has not enough money. So I said, let's do it in phases. Let's get the building up first. And once your building is up, then the banks are gonna say, oh, he's got some equity. So we got the building up, and guess what? He got the equity. Now the banks are telling him what you want. So it's about planning and working together. I really want to make Jefferson Ave thrive. I want to bring more events to it. Juneteenth should come back here. We should set up tents here for jazz festivals instead of the art museum, because jazz belongs to this community. And you should take that back, and you should make a big sample. Okay, we're doing it at the Maston Park. Great. But Jefferson Avenue is the prime of this community. And we need to be champions of that. And it takes a small group to make big things happen. It might take one to start it, but he can't do it by himself. But if we come together, imagine the things we can do together.
Okay, and our final question. What is your understanding of city, county, state, and federal governments as it pertains to business development? Starting with that small group,
Well, let's start with the city. The city, we can sit down and we can come up together with a little small game plan, or we can look at whatever resources are available and we try to tap into it and bring it to the community. But the state, without the city bringing you any resources, the state is not really going to get involved. Or without you having any small percentage of resources, the state is not going to get involved. But it starts in the city level with a general plan. It's a blueprint. It's a simple blueprint of what we're gonna do. What are you talking about? And then you talk about cost. I do that for many businesses that are trying to get grants or loans or properties or so on. So you accumulate and you teach the community, this is the items you need. You wanna do a project? All right, let's get a general basic blueprint to talk about what we're talking about. And let's get the basic cost of what it's gonna cost to bring it. And let's bring it to us. And then what we can do is we can find avenues, whether it's the county or the state, and find all the resources that have been allocated for our community, which they're still there. They give us a timetable, but you could always bring them back. And then they take it and they want to see if there's any grants. Then we have state grants that are available. State grants, if you remember, the Buffalo Billion that was supposed to come to the community. Do we all recall that? Okay, we have a bunch of business people here. Tell me who got any of that? Please, just one? So it's your councilman's duty to tell you about it. Because it's his district. Not one of you know about it. You wanna know who got it? The people they wanted to get it. Is that fair? The state don't know. They do. They have a little direction of saying, make sure this area, that area gets it. We're talking $1 billion to cap the 33. $1 billion to put a roof on top of 9 blocks. Is that gonna bring your community together? $1 billion, I took $1 billion, I'll close the hole, I'll fix Jefferson, and I'll fix Fillmore. Come on, guys, you don't know what it takes to make things happen. You're a business. Whether you're selling ice cream, you know how much ice cream money you can make off of it. I know how much money I can make off $1 billion. But I promise you this too, even if I have to finance it, because that raise that the council got, I'm gonna donate that raise. I'm gonna give every penny of that raise to the community. And if we have to open up a hub and have somebody operate it, and I have to add more money to it to make sure that we have somewhere to go instead of going through security downtown, checking if I'm in the office or not, and making sure, no. I'm gonna take this title, and if I want to be called Eddie Jefferson, I better move in. And I'm really, really serious about this. I'm a businessman just like you. I know what it's like to lose your lights. I know what it's like for them to shut your gas off. I know what it's like to go through hard times. And I know what it's like to move forward and succeed. But I will never forget where I came from and those that are struggling through that right now and that are working hard. If you want to know what's the best job in the United States? You, self-employment, small business, you. That's the best job you can create for you and your families, and I'm gonna support that 1,000%. Palladino, Simonelli, Sinatra, this and that, they reached out to me. I'm telling you, I swept them away. I'm not into this. Yes, we need them. Yes, we have to work with them. But they're not gonna give us just 10% or a few house apartments at lower cost, when they're getting 30 to 33% profit on every project that they do up front with all these grants. Profit. So if I did you a $100,000 job today in your business, $33,000 goes into your pocket on top of it. That's what's happening with them. And they're getting 10-year tax break. Not only you're not getting the tax break, as soon as you fix your property, they will register that you invested $30,000, the value of your property goes up. Oh, you got a few more dollars for us. Your homes have gone up 200% in the last 7-8 years. Property taxes, 200, not 2% like they just proposed. But that's all hidden stuff. You feel it, you understand that just now you're dishing it out, but if you're just a tenant, you don't understand. So us, small mom and pop shops, which I've opened up a lot of pizzerias. As a matter of fact, that's what brought me to Buffalo. Gino's and Joe's are the main place mall. 1983, December, I came and we opened up Gino's and Joe's upstairs. We opened up Gino's and Joe's downstairs. Pizza man, washing dishes, ripping off roofs, breaking concrete, working 14, 16 hours a day. That's who I am. Thank God I still got a lot of energy, and that's exactly what I'm going to keep doing to make sure we grow.
Thank you very much. We have some questions, and also after the questions, we'll ask you just to your final statement. Questions from our people? Business Association?
Nice to meet you. My name is Yolanda. I am in the process of opening a bicycle shop in Jefferson.
You have a what shop?
Bicycle shop.
Okay.
And I'm a very proud member of this association. So my question for you is, what is your plan to hold banks in this area accountable for not giving folks loans for decades. The red tape that they put folks through who need loans to renovate their building. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that? And the reason why I ask that is
Financial difficulty.
a lot of financial difficulty, but the reason why his building is still standing is because of his hard work and him finding creative ways to ensure that his business stays afloat. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Well, it starts, like I said earlier, first, definitely, the banks are denying us. Even when I used to leave Deeper a good year, I was paying my bills and so on, and because of my address and my zip code, I was not able to get the kind of loans that were necessary for me to move forward. But today we can bypass a lot of that, but we definitely got to get on top of them and give them help, because they are playing favoritism. And it's not just about color, it's about the community you live in. It's about the zip code you live in. It's about your real estate and all that. But you have a lot of private investors that are giving loans at the bank rates. Commercial loans, bank rate right now is going up to, I think, 13, 14%. Okay? I can find you private investors as long as there's equity, as long as you're looking to create some kind of business, and for like 10%. There's a lot of competition out there, you just don't know where to go. This is what I'm trying to sell to you at the moment, really, that we can bypass all that. And once they see that's happening, banks are not gonna let other people chop into their treasure, because that's their treasure, the loans. And we really gotta think logical about this stuff, not just throw tantrums. We gotta really bring laws to the table at the local level. If you're gonna favor one community over the other, we will find other banks that will do business with us. And believe me, there's such thing as federally funded loans, protected loans. And your community has been neglected. And if we start demanding it and crying for it, not only we can raise it locally, we can raise it statewide, we can even raise it nationally. Because you deserve everything you haven't gotten. And whether you got credit or not, I believe you should get every penny of it. Your community has suffered too long, and sad to say it's still suffering.
Question?
I have a question for you. I know you can't do all of this by yourself.
Okay.
And I want to know, how are you going to work with your colleagues in government to spur on the development of Jefferson Ave?
It's really not that hard. I have a good relationship with a lot of them. Like I said earlier, the only thing they didn't like about me was running against them. But I'm not running against them. This is an open seat. Of course, some of them are supporting some candidates, or the other side. The only thing I'm complaining about is they neglected us. So, working with them, I do work with some of them for a long time. I have decent relationships. Some of these localities that have been trying to open up places or buying lots, I already do that kind of stuff and helping people get some of it. I don't have enemies. I have associates, and good proposals are good proposals, and no denial. I don't care if the bank sees a good proposal, they don't care who you are. So we're just gonna come together with good proposals, good planning, and of course I gotta work with them, but they also gotta work with me, because they're gonna need me too, because I'm not just gonna be representing Elder Condition. I'm gonna be representing the city of Buffalo on top of it, because we make laws, we do budgets, we decide whether this is a good idea or that a good idea. Just because I approve something, that doesn't mean the rest of the council are gonna come on board. I have to be able to sell to myself and sell to others. And I've been fortunate and blessed to be able to sell products without having it in front of me. And most of the projects that I've sold, we didn't even have anything there, and people bought it, and then found out what they're buying. So we just gotta come out with good planning, good communications, and sit down and be serious about it. If they don't listen, and that's what you want, then we all come together to make them listen.
Anybody else have another question? How do you plan to be more visible to the business district of the Ellicott district?
Okay? First, I'm gonna stop before I leave, I'm gonna give every person my cell number. And I'm gonna guarantee you that. I always pick up my phone, I've had the same phone number for many, many years. I'll be around. I'll be probably more out here than I will be in my office. Planning, working, seeing how we're gonna do this, because let's not forget, Jefferson Ave is not the only strip I have to work with. But we have Genesee, we have Walton, we have a few other communities, some of Fillmore. I mean, that little district that I got at Fillmore, I'm glad already, I did some of it over there to give them the facelift, because I took all their bars. Everybody was telling them, leave the bars there, not around here. No, you're inviting crime. Let's clean up my neighborhood, open it up. If they're gonna rob you, they're gonna rob you through the back wall. They don't need to come into the front door. So, I'm visible now. I'm always a phone call away. And if I don't pick up the phone call, either you call me while I'm talking to somebody, or you call me while I'm at an event like this, and my phone is silent. Text me. I promise you, just like everybody else I've been doing over the years, I will call you back, and I will see what I can do. I'll be around. You'll see me.
Oh, we've got 5 minutes left. Any of the other members who haven't had a chance to ask a question before we go to our final question? Anyone else?
Will it be, say you were elected,
I'm sorry, I could hardly hear sometimes. Go ahead, it's okay.
say that you was elected and told to run this district, what will it be for business to get their grant, excuse me, and to get their business more stable, will it be more presentable in the community? Because a lot of these mom and pop stores been there for so many years and they're struggling just to try to make a living off the store, at the same time trying to keep it for upkeep. And sometimes these grants and programs come in and they get approval, you'll see.
It's basically what I said at the beginning of the conversation, that I will make sure. I asked you if you ever got any of it, none of you got it. I will make sure that this Jefferson Avenue gets it. If you don't qualify for it, I still will make sure that you get it. Yes, sometimes you need a roof. These roofs of ours are forever. They got 3-4 layers, they need to be torn off, and a standard roof today is $20,000 to $30,000. A flat roof tear off is anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000, $40,000 on a 12 to 1,400 square foot little building. I will bring it to you. I'm not just gonna let those grants run away from my district. I will bring you those grants and help you fill out the applications. If I personally don't know how to do it, but I promise you, I have somebody in my staff that can deal with that strictly, because that's the only way we're gonna rebuild around here, is if we take advantage of every penny that's available to bring it here, and from every avenue that's available to bring it here. So I will do my part to make sure.
Quick question.
Yeah, so safety is a concern, obviously, and the thing you said about the bars on the windows, that is a thing. So what are your thoughts around policing, and creative ways to create to make our community safe without relying heavily on policing?
I was gonna say, so I don't forget, look into me. Search eGroup, eGroup.com. Look at what I've been talking about. You know how we're gonna change that? The quality of life, the quality of our neighborhoods, the atmosphere and the grasses and the sidewalks, the lighting and all of that is a ghetto. Let's be realistic. Sorry for saying that, but I live in it. They're treating us like a ghetto. Let's change the quality. The West Side started getting development, people started fixing their houses, and crime has started disappearing. Break-ins have started disappearing. You won't find no more bars over there. And you got a lot of small businesses you can break into. Fillmore Avenue, I took those bars off about 4 or 5 years ago. Not one break-in. So it's quality, it's about atmosphere, it's about, oh, I can't touch this, too risky over here. But if I'm going into a neighborhood, there's 4 or 5 businesses closed, I might not do it through the front door, but I'll go through the roof or I'll go through the window if I'm looking to rob something. So it comes down to quality of life and the neighborhood's features. And if we don't address and cut the grasses right and give some of those properties to the owners or the business next door that's trying to do something, they don't want to give it to you because you're not a developer. Where's the fairness of you not getting your share when you've been here all these years and gone through the depressions and all, and probably still in the depression? So believe me, we will fight together. When I get there, I'm gonna be here. I'll be there voting on Tuesdays, whatever we have to do, but I'm gonna be here doing my job. I don't know how to sleep, I don't know how to stand still. I don't like my remote control unless I'm watching some news.
Okay, and your final statement to the association?
I want to be so powerful to you right now. I want to say it's so demanding that you really shouldn't have a choice but to select. I'm one of you. I raised my kids with you. I live with you. I used to have Let's Eat Pizza on, right here on Ferry in Jefferson. Remember when we did that pizza shop temporary? I did it for my kids. But they won't wake up on time. So they weren't responsible. I had to keep doing what I'm doing because by what I do gives me a lot of capabilities in helping people. I help people like you who had this problem. They didn't have the money to fix their roof or do a little facade. I've helped people. I sent people over there and I did the work and I did it for free just so that they can live. There's only so much I can do by myself. But imagine what I can do if I was there and find all these resources that we should have access to and come to you. You don't have to come to me. I want your front to be this like this. I need you to have a new door, a new storefront, new lighting, a new heating system. You know, there's grants for that. I mean, there's so much we can do together. And I want to be the champion. And at the end of the day, I really want you to say good things about me. I don't want to hear anything else. We can do this. And your best selection is me. Don't be fooled by people that work for government. Because those that have worked for government left you in this position. And they're gonna come now to save you. It ain't gonna take that, it's gonna take one of us to save us. It's gonna take somebody with a loud voice and that doesn't care about them. I know I gotta work with them, but I really don't wanna sell my soul to them. I could have sold it years ago, I've been playing politics a long time, and you know what my answer to them was? I'm not about to sell my soul to the devil. Excuse me for being so rude on this one, but I was not gonna walk with my head down and listen to what they tell me. I was not gonna be a yes man or yes sir. I wanna walk proud, I wanna lead proud. And together, I'm telling you, we can make the beginning of a new East Side. And I can spread it further than just us. Thank you.